Hello and welcome to Meet Developing Me with Noktula. So today I'm going to talk to writing a skills-based CV. In an earlier video, I'd spoken to the fact that one may believe that they do not have experience, but the truth is we all have experience. But in having that experience, how do you then take that experience and translate it into this document called a CV? So I'm just going to make one quick example or a couple of examples how we can approach putting together a skills-based CV. This is relevant for individuals who feel they have very little experience, young graduates, or even individuals who want to display their transferable skills. If, for example, you want to move from one industry into another, but you may not exactly have experience in that industry, but you do have the skills. So I'm just going to quickly make a very basic example. Alright, so in putting together our skills-based CV, certain things would still stay the same. We'd always have our profile, our education. I personally would still say put your education a little bit further down. And then we come to actually then how will we write our skills-based CV. So these are just a couple of examples of skills I have put down. And I'm now just going to take an example of teamwork as a skill and how we would then put it together in a CV or a CV-based skill. Alright, maybe rather a skills-based CV, not a CV-based skill. So I took a skill, a skill of teamwork. And I tried to make a very elementary, simple example, but this is more or less the format, one of the formats we can follow. So let's say you're a young person, you really have no work experience, but you've worked as part of a community or you've been involved in some projects, etc. And you want to display your skill where you have demonstrated teamwork. So I've put here, worked as a team at XYZ Community Center. And maybe let's say you were responsible for coordinating the volunteer schedule. And so you'd say there, this is what you're responsible for. And also making alternate arrangements if individuals did not show up. And so that is just a very basic example of what it is that's your role that you played in a team. And one thing that I always say is that in everything, especially while in the job, in the process of looking for a job, always remember to try and focus on the I, because it is you looking for a job as much as you are part of a team. So this is one way, for example, an example of a bullet that you can use to demonstrate how you use teamwork. There is also something else called the STAR method. It is what you would use also when we talk to answering what is called competency-based question or situational based interview. So we can also then just use that in putting together our CV or putting together a skills-based CV. So I'm going to use the same example of teamwork, but now using the STAR method. Okay, so the acronym STAR stands for situation, task, action, as well as results. So another way, for example, we can use the STAR method to put together our skills-based CV. So again, still using the example of teamwork, you can say your role in terms of the situation. It was you coordinated the volunteer schedule, which meant you sent weekly updates on each Friday regarding tasks to the volunteers. So that would be the situation. And then we want to talk to the actual task that you had. So for example, you can say you then had to perform a task at one point. You had a last minute cancellation, a message on a Sunday, and then what you had to do was to find an individual who would be a stand-in. So that was the task you had to play, and then you talk to the actions. So part of the actions that you can say is that, okay, you made calls to various individuals who were on standby, and you requested that they stand in. And let's say in this situation, nobody was available since it was last minute. And then part of the result, we want to know, okay, there was a situation, you demonstrated teamwork, what was the actual result? And In this case, we want to have a good result. So again, you think about situations that you've been in where you've demonstrated a certain skill. So for example, here I said, okay, no one could stand in, so I was responsible for ensuring, oops, it ends there, for ensuring that that there is somebody scheduled on that day. So what I then did, I would say I negotiated with friends to postpone our plans, and I took the standby role, and thus ensuring that we had enough volunteers as per the schedule. So hey, I put myself down. I was a team player. I still ensured that, what it is that was required was achieved. So that is a very elementary example of how you can use the STAR method, or how one can put together a skills-based CV. So please do send any questions, comments, queries. Do follow. Also, if anyone is not on this platform and you'd like to share this information with them, you can also find me on YouTube, Noktula Konzo, and like and subscribe. Thank you.